Good morning, children. Welcome back. I am Mrs. Sithara, your social science teacher. In today's session, we are going to learn Class 7, Unit 1 in Geography, Resources, Part 5. Come, children, let us learn. Before moving into today's session, let us have a recap of what we learned in the last session. We learned about a resource. A resource is anything which can be used for satisfying the human needs. Natural resources are those resources that exist without the action of humankind. We learned the classification of natural resources on the basis of origin as well as on the basis of renewability. On the basis of origin, the natural resources can be classified into biotic and abiotic resources. Biotic resources are found in the biosphere, which are obtained from living and organic material like forest, crops, birds, animal, fish, man, and material that can be obtained from them. Fossil fuels are also included in the biotic resources. Abiotic resources are non-living parts of the environment like land, water, air, sunlight. And on the basis of renewability, resources can be divided into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. A renewable resource is a resource which can be used repeatedly and replaced naturally. They include solar energy, wind energy, and hydropower. Sun produces energy in the form of heat and light, and photovoltaic devices or solar cells convert the solar energy into electricity. The Kamuti Solar Power Project is one of the largest solar power projects in the world, which is there in Ramanathapuram district in Tamilnadu with a capacity of 648 megawatt. Wind power is clean energy since wind turbines does not produce any emissions. Water is also considered as a great source of energy. Hydroelectricity is generated from moving water with high velocity, that is speed, and great falls with the help of turbines and dynamos. It is the cheapest and the most versatile source of energy out of all known energy. China is the largest producer of hydroelectricity, with the Three Gorges Dam in China producing the largest hydroelectricity project with a capacity of 22,000 megawatt. We also learned about non-renewable resources. Those are those resources that are consumed and cannot be replaced. Continuous consumption of these resources lead to its exhaustion. They include fossil fuels such as coal, petroleum, natural gas, mineral resources such as iron, copper, bauxite, gold, silver. And this non-renewable resources can be classified into metallic resources, non-metallic resources, and fossil fuel resources. The metallic resources are those type of resources that are composed of metals. Metals are hard substances and contain good conductors of heat and electricity. Iron, copper, gold, silver, manganese, etc. Iron is the most common, fourth common element on the Earth's crust. Magnetite and hematite are the common ores of iron. Copper is one of the oldest metals known and used by man. It is the third most consumed industrial metal in the world after iron and aluminium. It is a good conductor of heat and electricity. Chile is the world's #1 country in the production of copper. Gold is also a rare and a precious metal which has high demand in the world market. China is the world's largest producer of gold. Kolar goldfield is one of the deepest mines of the world. It is in India. Bauxite. Bauxite is the ore of aluminium. Aluminium is light in weight, tough and cheaper, which makes it popular metal for constructional purpose in the construction of aircrafts, ships, automobiles, railway coaches, etc. It is also used for making electrical cables. Australia is the world's leading bauxite producer. Silver is also a precious metal like gold. It has wider variety of uses, that is, it is used in jewelry, dentistry, photographic goods, electroplating, and also in the manufacture of luxury goods. Mexico is the world's leading silver producer. Manganese is a steel grey, hard, shiny and brittle metal. It is used in the production of good quality steel and also for making electrical batteries. It is also used as a coloring material in bricks, pottery, floors and tiles. It is used in disinfecting liquids, bleaching powder, fertilizers. South Africa is the world's leading producer of manganese. In non-metallic resources, we learned about mica, with China the world's top producer of mica, and it is used in the industry insulating materials in electrical industries and also for lubricating oils and decorative wallpaper because of its shining or luster nature. Limestone is a sedimentary rock composed mainly by skeletal fragments of marine organisms such as coral, foraminifera and mollusks. It is crushed stone and it is used as a construction material, facing stone, floor tiles, stair treads, window sills and many other purposes. It is also used in smelting and metal refining process. China produces more than half of the limestone production in the world. Children, in this session we will discuss about petroleum and natural gas. Children, we already learned that natural resources can be classified on the basis of origin and on the basis of renewability. On the basis of origin, it is classified into biotic resource and abiotic resource. On the basis of renewability, it is classified into renewable resources and non-renewable resources. And non-renewable resources are classified into metallic, non-metallic and fossil fuel. Fossil fuel resources are normally formed from the remains of dead plants and animals. They are referred as fossil fuels and formed from hydrocarbons. When they are burnt, they produce great source of heat and energy. The most commonly found fossil fuel is coal. It finds its use in domestic fuel and industries such as iron and steel, steam engines to generate electricity. Electricity produced from the coal is called the thermal energy. Now let us learn about petroleum. Petroleum is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from the oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. So children, petroleum is found in between the layers of rocks and it has to be drilled from the oil fields which are located offshore. Offshore means just away from the land and in the coastal areas. You can see a sample of petroleum in the picture that is given. This is sent to refineries which processes crude oil. Crude oil is what we are getting from the drill and produces a variety of products like diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastic and lubricants. So from this we separate out from this crude oil, we can separate out diesel, petrol, kerosene, wax, plastic as well as lubricants. Petroleum and its derivatives are called as black gold as they are very valuable. It is called as black gold. On the picture you can see the formation of petroleum. You can see the ocean around 300 to 400 million years ago. Tiny sea plants and animals that died and were buried on the ocean floor. Over time, they were covered by layers of silt and sand. Over millions of years, the remains were buried deeper and deeper. The enormous heat and pressure turned them into oil and gas. Today, we drill down through layers of sand, silt and rock to reach a rock formation that contain oil and gas deposits. Children, the chief petroleum producing countries are Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq and Qatar, all in the Middle East. The other major producers are USA, Russia, Venezuela, Kuwait, UAE and Algeria. The leading producers in India are Digboy in Assam and Bombay High in Mumbai, and the deltas of Krishna and Godavari rivers. What you see on the picture is Bombay High is an offshore oil field located in the Arabian Sea around 160 kilometers west of the Mumbai coast. It is operated by Oil and Natural Gas Corporation (ONGC). Now we will learn about natural gas. Natural gas is found with petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to surface. It can be used as domestic and industrial fuel. So you cannot find it separately, but it is usually found along with the petroleum deposits, and it is compressed, and as it is brought up, it is released. More than 50% of the global natural gas reserves are found in United States of America, Russia, Iran and Qatar, mostly the Gulf countries. In India, you can find the natural gas reserves in Krishna and Godavari Delta, Assam, Gujarat and some areas of offshore in Mumbai have natural gas resources. The picture shows how the natural gas is extracted from the soil. Children, carbon and small amount of methane is released when the natural gas is burned and it pollutes the air. Before the natural gas can be used, it must be filtered from any other gases or substances which are associated with that. Before we wind up, let us have the recap of the lesson. Children, natural resources are obtained from the environment. Renewable resources can be used repeatedly and replaced naturally. Non-renewable resources, once consumed, cannot be replaced. For example, you have coal, petroleum and natural gas. Solar energy is not harmful to the environment. Hydroelectricity is generated from moving water with high velocity and great falls with the help of turbines and dynamos. Metallic resources are iron, copper, gold, bauxite, silver, manganese, etc. Non-metallic resources are mica, limestone, gypsum, dolomite, phosphate, etc. Fossil fuel resources are normally formed from the remains of dead plants and animals. Let us see the glossary. Biotic resource obtained from living and organic material. Abiotic resources obtained from non-living, non-organic material. Hydroelectricity generated from moving water with high velocity and great falls with the help of turbines and dynamos. Metallic resource that are composed of metals. Non-metallic resources that do not comprise of metals. Duralumin, a hard, light alloy of aluminium with copper and other elements. Fossil fuel, formed from the remains of dead plants and animals. Thermal power, electricity produced from coal, black gold, petroleum and its derivatives. Precious metal, a metal that is valuable and usually rare, like gold. Children, before winding up, let us have a recap of what we discussed in this session. In this session, we learnt about non-metallic resources, that is petroleum and natural gas. Petroleum is found between the layers of rocks and is drilled from the oil fields located in offshore and coastal areas. The chief petroleum producing countries are Saudi Arabia, Iran, Iraq and Qatar. Natural gas is found with petroleum deposits and is released when crude oil is brought to the surface. Children, in the next session, we will discuss about the book back answers. That is the evaluation part. Children, now it's worksheet time. Worksheet number 5. Fill in the blanks. Question number 1. Petroleum and its derivatives are called dash. Petroleum and its derivatives are called dash. Question number 2. Dash are formed from the remains of dead plants and animals. Dash are formed from the remains of dead plants and animals. Roman number 2, answer the following. What are the different types of fossil fuel resources? What are the different types of fossil fuel resources? Question number 2. Name the products obtained from crude oil. Name the products obtained from crude oil. As we do in the case of worksheets, copy this down in your rough